Welcome. This is La Madame. Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone had a peaceful night, restful sleep. So, today I wanted to start a reading of the day. I'm hoping to have less distractions, although just because it's Friday, it's still, and it's the weekend, the beginning of the weekend, things are still happening. So, work can call, and stuff like that. So I apologize in advance if we are interrupted, but I'm hoping to do this, and I won't even say really a quick read today. Today we're just going to go along with the flow. So again, this is La Madame. Welcome. Good morning to everyone. So, as you see, I placed the cards. I shuffled. I placed the cards. I'm sharing my reading with you. This is normally what I do. In the morning. One of my routines that I do in the morning is I do readings and a reading of the day. And so today I decided to share it with you all. And I can continue. If you all appreciate my work and what I do and what I give, by all means, I don't mind doing readings this way. So, without further ado, welcome once again. So, the reading for today, which is February 6th, 2026. Now, I want to just state something on date and time when it comes to tarot. When it comes to tarot, you really don't... Timestamps are very important. They are, and it just confirms that, the reading has been had, the message has been sent, and it's a reminder to a lot of us readers, it's just a reminder to us to make sure that we're getting these readings out. So when you hear the date, this date can mean now, it can mean tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month, it could be next year, it could be 2 years from now, it could be 3 years from now. Just because it's February 6th, 2026 does not mean that, this reading is only going to work for today. So that's when, that's how you look at it. And so the tarot number of today from the date, February 6th, 2026 is the Strength. This tarot is the Strength card. And so let's proceed. So the first card I have on the board is the Five of Cups. I feel at this point, I guess I could show the cards. Let's see. Hopefully I don't make a big mess out of stuff. Forgive me, I just painted my fingernails, so that's why I'm really trying not to mess them up. So the Five of Cups. So with this reading, I feel that there's some grievance. Persons of some sort may be in a grievance at this point, at this time. This could mean, just really true sadness. This, maybe a loved one, maybe you've lost a loved one, early this year. And, you're just reflecting on, a lot of the losses, and, it's getting the best of you at this time. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. What's crossing the Five of Cups is the Death card. So everything needed to come to a halt. Everyone has a date, if you know what that means. And so, when it comes to death, a physical death, we're sad. People are very sad. People take it very hard, but it's something that we all have to do it. Somewhere in our lifetime, we're going to know that hurt. We're going to feel that hurt. Everyone in their own way. We will come to feel it. If you notice, when someone leaves us, we hurt, we mourn, and we go through it, but as time goes on, we heal, as the time goes on, the love, you're able to laugh again, to smile again, And so this is just a reminder to anyone that has lost a loved one late 2025 or early 2026. I send my condolences to you all. Had it been a family member of mine or someone really close to me, it would affect me the same way. And it affects me regardless. I have a heart and I feel energies. I actually lost, or I've heard of, a few persons that I know that are not here with us. And it is a sad thing, situation. But right now, a person is in this energy, okay? A person may be in this energy. Okay, so what sits beneath the Five of Cups is the Five of Wands. Let's get back on track, guys. Okay, so this card, the Five of Wands, people are bickering, fighting, arguing. It's all fun and dandy when, drama gets going and everybody's got something to say. Oh no, I heard this. Well, no, I see it this way, and everyone's putting their input. Everyone is trying to be heard. Everybody thinks they have that they know the way, that they know the truth. But in all true honesty, this is what happens when you get a group of folks together and everybody wants too many chiefs. You know what I'm saying? It's just way too many. And so this is the energy. This is possibly what brought on the Five of Cups. Is the arguing, the fighting. All while you arguing, fighting, and fussing, and all this stuff going on, you're losing loved ones, one by one. Moving from your past energy, or the past energy, is the Nine of Wands. You just can't catch a break. One thing after another. And you have been through the worst. You've been through hell. You're going through hell. This is, like I said, put this reading where it belongs. This reading is happening now. It's happening tomorrow. It's happening next day, the next month, the next week, the next year, and years to come. But this is the energy. Okay? This is the energy. You're just overwhelmed with everything. You've been through a battle. It's just one thing after another. But this card can also mean that, you're steady holding on to things that you need to let go. You're fighting a battle that's not yours. And too many of us do that. We fight battles way far too long. You just keep it up. You just keep on with it. You know that these things are acting a certain way, behaving a certain way is not good for you, and you just keep doing it. Just downright being dishonoring. But it hurts you. It hurts you in the long run. You see this Five of Cups and how sad and, a person or, you may feel, and yet people just still move that way. Now, what sits above the Five of Cups is the Four of Wands. And this is the energy that you would want to be in. Just happiness, just celebrating, enjoying your freedom. This is a stage in life where you're really reflecting on. I remember when it used to be like this, when things were just so cool. I was so excited about things. You kept getting good news, and you just felt like you were married to yourself. You were just at a happy time, a happy place. Moving into more of the present energy, back to the, this whole thing going on, this whole energy, is the Two of Cups. It's asked at this time that you call a truce. If you've offended someone, just call it a truce. If you really want to be free, you want to be set free, and you really want to heal past the Five of Cups, it's said to just go ahead and call it a truce. If you offended someone, apologize. I've heard a person before tell me that I don't use the word sorry. You're never supposed to be sorry. Don't say the word sorry. And for a long time, I tried to feel the person out, and I tried to understand what that meant for him, the person that used to say it. But, I have to add to that, I just don't totally agree with not saying sorry. Saying sorry does not mean that you're weak. First of all, it doesn't mean that you're weak. What it means is that you're still holding on to a lot of hostility, and you need to be broken in, because we all have done things. If you have truly hurt someone, and if that one word sorry can eliminate everything, you need to say it. It's not about, just what you've been taught or how you feel like, oh, it shows a weakness by saying sorry. Yeah, we don't want to overdo sorry. People, always use that, as manipulation, but I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking about just downright apologizing. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. My bad. I didn't mean, if I offended you, I apologize, or something. But you have to voice it. You cannot keep these emotions bottled inside. It's not good for you. And this is to somebody that knows who I'm talking about, who I'm talking to. They know that. It's okay to say sorry. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not a man, that just take some type of accountability. It's okay. Just apologize. Gee whiz, mother, God. So the energy that a person may be in, or after this whole, it's just they're in the hermit. They're kind of staying away. I think it's best that they probably think it's best that they stay away, stay indoors, stay away from other people. That's self-healing. Believe it or not, people don't know that. Being in confiance, and just being, consumed with, just be by yourself for a while. Everybody deserves a timeout. Within that timeout, so many things are just reflected. If you notice, she's opening up, it's a computer, but a book. She's doing some introspective, a work. She's working on herself. He is working. It's good to work on yourself. Get yourself, away from everyone, and just really do some self-reflection. That means look within yourself. Am I a decent person? Am I right or am I wrong for doing this or feeling this way? Ask yourself these things. That's a form of healing. What sits above the hermit and what other people may feel or think is the tower. The wonderful tower, right? The wonderful disaster. So if you don't move out of this energy, you're going to be affected by this tower. And at this point, you really can't do anything about it. You're caught up. You've been caught up in the game, and you're going to fall. Okay? And the people that are with you, the people that went down with you, they're going to fall. And this is going to happen suddenly. You're not going to see it. You can't move from it. You can't run from it. It's going to affect you. You're going to be affected by this. One way or another. It's coming down. It's coming down. A hope or fear, but I would say hope is the hanged one. Turn the situation around. Just do a bow face, a 180 turn, and move from your wicked ways. Just accept that you're wrong, your fault, and it's kind of like, you put yourself in the corner. You put yourself in the corner. When you go to court, and when the judge says, when I've heard a movie, I think it was Jim Carrey movie, one of his funny movies, but where he couldn't lie or something like that, and he was going off and he couldn't lie. His son wanted him to stop lying, but he was a lawyer and that was his job profession, so he got paid to be a lawyer. And the son didn't like it because it was affecting the son. So the son made a wish that his dad would not be able to tell a lie. So somewhere in that movie, Jim Carrey, he can't lie. The son put a spell or whatever on him, and he couldn't lie anymore. So when he went to court and went to work, he couldn't even do his job right because he couldn't be made to lie. And so he told the judge, it's a funny movie, you should see it. He told the judge, I hold myself in contempt. That's kind of like what this is. It's like all hands down, like, you know what, I give it. It's over. I give up. I hold myself in contempt. That's what this card reminds me of. And I've been in this situation before where you just say, you know what, you ain't got to worry about giving me years or time. I lock myself up. I take myself and throw away the key. Because sometimes life will take you there. And you just, that's just life. That's lifing. So what sits above that is the Three of Cups. This is where you want to be celebrating. Everybody, be on one accord. Everyone should be celebrating. It's a new year. It's the beginning of a new year. People are kind of going off on the deep end. People are just keeping this drama stuff going on, stuff that happened in 2025. You're trying to bring it to the 2026 because misery loves company. But this card is a representation of this is where you're supposed to be at. I'm not saying like, I can save the world and La Madame always, she's always trying to be the peacemaker. I am. And I'm going to continue to be that. I'm going to be that light because that's what I do. That's a light worker. I'm a light worker. So that's what I'm made to do. But this is the energy that you would want to be in a peaceful energy where everybody is accepting of everybody, we all going to go through stuff. But man, just try to be trustworthy. Try to be a righteous person. Just try to be good. Does anybody want to try to be good? So that's the reading that I have today. This is the reading that I have. Now I'm going to give my interpretation. I gave my interpretation, but I'm going to kind of just, my blessing to you all is to have strength while you're going through your darkest times. My hope for you is that you find peace somewhere in your life. You only live one life. And to be honest, whatever you do, it is accounted for. A lot of people think they can do anything under the sun, and they think that no one can stop them. And they care so much about what other people say and think, but you should care what higher power thinks. You should care that when you're on your dying bed, when you're sick, or when you're dying, or when you're in a situation, who's going to come save you? Do you think God is just one of those type of gods that, he's a forgiving God, but do you take God lightly? You think it's a game? You need to get right with yourself, especially you older folks. These folks that are older, you guys need to be a role model for your children and grandchildren and stuff, and these other people that need help out here. It's the beginning of the year. Can't we all just get along? So you've heard it from me, La Madame. I am so grateful that I was able to share my first reading of today, of this morning, with you all. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope I shed some light. I send my condolences to persons that have lost any loved ones or anyone that's feeling true hurt. Maybe take that time to self-reflect. Where the hermit is in this reading, you self-reflect. And just try to get right. And that's my blessing to you. You've heard it from La Madame. Have a very good rest of your day. I hope that it's prosperous today. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Toodaloo.